Hi, my name is Peter Crosby. I want to introduce you to Mirror Trading International and give you a bit of a background on the passive income that you can make out of using this company's services and products. Okay, so let me get started. I'm going to move my picture out of the way for now. Okay, first of all, there's a little bit of a disclaimer. It's a standard disclaimer to say that nobody giving presentations like this are financial advisors. We're merely sharing our personal experiences and what we do ourselves. Please make sure that you understand what you're investing into before you do, and please ask if there are any questions that you're not sure of. Okay, so MTI. The simple short story is that you can grow your Bitcoin using MTI. So you can invest or deposit your Bitcoin, whatever value of Bitcoin you would like, into the account. The minimum value being $100 value of Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin is the base currency. So you put money in Bitcoin form and you take it out in Bitcoin. A little bit of an overview of the company itself. Mirror Trading International was registered in April of 2019 last year. And the founder and CEO is Johan Steinberg, and he's from Polokwane in South Africa. There are 30 founder members who are also shareholders and share 5% of the MTI profits. And this is important for good reason, as a group of professionals who are assisting Johan by adding their wisdom and talents to create an even stronger foundation for the future of MTI. Also there to back things up should something happen to Johan. The legal entity in the company has taken legal advice from a set of attorneys, and they're busy putting a document in place at the moment, which should be released pretty soon, just to show that they are a credible company and they're doing everything above the law. And they'll follow the laws and the rules of the country and internationally for that matter. It's a sustainable business model. They trade Forex using advanced artificial intelligence software with Bitcoin as the base currency. The sustainability of Mirror Trading International comes from the trading activities and is not dependent on members or how many people belong to the organization or the business. So the profits are made from trading activities. Because it's Forex, there's daily trading that takes place between Monday and Friday. You earn passively from the daily trades, growing your Bitcoin balance. So every day your Bitcoin goes up based on the profits made the day previous to that. Trading results are not guaranteed because they can't be, and there's no trading experience required from anybody that joins the club. Bitcoin. Everything is always in Bitcoin. Based on the successful trades, you earn Bitcoin from Monday to Friday. And when the price of Bitcoin rises, so will the value of your balance in your trading account. This is a slide that I've added, a little bit of personal involvement and testimonial of what I've done in the past. I just want to speak a little bit about the variables of us using Bitcoin and the variable of the South African Rand, as well as the risks and variable of the trading in Forex. A little bit about Bitcoin itself. It's a very volatile commodity, okay, if you want to call it that. But over the long run, it always goes up in value. If you have a look from January 2017, it was sitting at around about $630 for one Bitcoin, and it is now sitting at around $6,300, which shows that it's gone up tremendously even from that time until now, by 10 times the value. At its highest peak, it went up as far as nearly 20,000 US dollars, and that was in December of 2017. So if you purchased at $630 in January of 2017 and you sold it in December, you would have gone from $630 up to $19,991, as you can see from this graph of here, which I've taken from coinmarketcap.com. Anyway, that's enough about Bitcoin, but like you see, it can be very volatile, so it can also go down, and that's a concern that people have. And that is taken care of in the next slide after this. The South African Rand, on the other hand, as you know, has got weaker and weaker year on year. And now with it being in junk status, who knows where it will go over this next period. Other currencies all over the world are also suffering due to the situation with the coronavirus. So we don't particularly want to invest in the South African Rand or any other currency. Trading Forex, as much as we know, is volatile because we're talking about Forex trading between currencies. The benefit and the beauty of trading in Forex is that you can make money whether a currency is going up or down, simply because you're buying and selling currencies between each other. MTI, at a worst case scenario, can lose by closing all their trades because of bad things happening within the Forex world itself, let's call it that. Will lose no more than 3 to 5% of their total capital, which can easily be made up over another 2 to 3 days, let's call it even 5 days. To date, there has been not one day without a profit being shown in the MTI, with the MTI robots that are being used. I've personally done trading for many years without and with robots, and at one stage I built up a large portfolio with trading robots. I also grew a large following who I traded for with daily commissions. So I know that MTI robots methods work. However, unlike MTI, I never had a tool to close off all the trades instantly when things went pear-shaped. With my robots on the selected drawdown. You see, with MTI, they have a function or a tool that when the drawdown or the amount of equity has been used for trading goes over a certain amount, they can close all their trades 100% and take that loss and then make it up over a couple of days. I personally have robots that make similar profits to what MTI's robots are making, so I know that they work as far as the profits go, and I also know from what they've said that they have secured it, that should it go over a certain drawdown or a certain value being used, they can close out all the trades and carry on from there. And from what I've seen over the last 10 months and monitoring it over the last 6 months, is that they've never gone over maybe 3% of their total equity in trades, which is brilliant. I want to talk a little bit about the power of compounding. Okay, I can show you that on 0.5% per day compounded, that you'll make probably 400% plus per annum. I've got 360% there. Joining MTI without introducing anybody else to MTI, just with your own investment. Numbers don't lie, and I can show you how this works on average of 5% of 0.5% per day, and that you'll get about 400%, as I said. And this works the same regardless of whether you're looking at $100 or $10,000 investment. If you take that by 400%, you're looking at 40,000 after a year. I just want to open up a spreadsheet that I've got here, which I'll give you you've got the link to it at the bottom over here. If you just type this into this URL into your browser, you'll open the same spreadsheet which I've created, just to use as an example of my $100 account that I opened. So I just want to go through this with you quickly. So if you have a look at this, I started on the 18th of the 3rd, which isn't too long ago. Been going for 10 trading days, and if you look at the closing balances and the average daily profits, or this is the true daily profits that you see here, you'll see if I add these all together, if I select all of them, and I go down at the bottom here on the right hand corner, the average is 0.51%, and I haven't seen it go below an average of 5% a day. So I'm working on 5% a day, and working ahead, predicting the future at 0.5% or 0.5% per day. If we go down to the bottom over here, let me just page down, and we look at the date of the 17th of the 3rd, which is exactly a year from the date that I started on the 18th of the 3rd, and we look at the totals over here, you'll see that the total here shows 367%. However, what I wanted to draw your attention to is that when I purchased a $100 value, the Bitcoin value at that time was 0.019 of a Bitcoin. Okay, so that was the amount that I invested. However, based on today's value, and go back to the top here, if you have a look over here, I've got automatic calculations that show you the true value when you open the spreadsheet. So right now, Bitcoin is 112,000 Rand, and Bitcoin in US dollars is 6,259 Rand. So as of today, that $100 is, because of the Bitcoin going up in value, has changed to $120. So it's already gone up 20% just from the Bitcoin going up in price, from the 18th to the 31st of the 3rd. So that's the growth in Bitcoin alone. Okay, so with that said, if we go back down to the bottom, you'll see that the predicted value based at today's price of Bitcoin is $440, which is more than 400% of the initial investment of $100 that was put in. Like I say, there's a lot of different variables because everything's changing all the time. So the Bitcoin price is going up and down, the US dollar price is going up and down against the Rand. But based on today's values, you'll see that you've got nearly 8,000 Rand, where today's value of that Bitcoin is 2,100 Rand. I don't recall what the exact value was at the time of me purchasing it, but like I say, I know it was $100 at the time. So I think the value of the Rand was probably about 1,500 Rand at the time. So anyway, regardless of how you look at it, it's a good increase in the profit at the end of 0.5% per day. So going on with the presentation, I want to now show you what would happen if the Bitcoin value price, the price of Bitcoin drops. Okay, first of all, so let's be hypothetical and say that when you buy into this, you spend $10,000 for one Bitcoin. Okay, and 12 months later, that Bitcoin value drops from $10,000 to $4,000. So it's gone down by less than half of the value when you originally purchased it. And I want to prove to you here that regardless of what happens with the Bitcoin price, you'll still show a profit compared to keeping your money in fiat currency being rands and cents or dollars. So based on the past trades and the results, that one Bitcoin at the end of 12 months would give you around about 3.13 Bitcoin. And if you take 3.13 Bitcoin at 4,000 US dollars instead of 10,000, which was the initial cost, you're looking at $12,523 in profit after 12 months, which is still 25% compared to what you get at the banks of around about 10% if you're lucky. Now, if we take that same scenario over 24 months, which is only 2 years, and let's say it drops again by half from 4,000 down to 2,000, okay, your Bitcoin would have grown because of the growth every day of 0.5% every day to 9.8 Bitcoin. So from 3 Bitcoin, you go up to 9.8 Bitcoin, okay, by the second year. So let's see, based on that compounding, at 9.82 Bitcoin times by $2,000, you're now sitting on $19,640, which is close to 100% growth in 2 years, which you would never get in a bank. Now let's look at the other scenario. Let's say you purchased that same Bitcoin for $10,000, but it increased by only $12,000, remembering that as an example in 2017 it went to $19,000, and the trend is that it is going up at the moment. So let's say it only reached $12,000 after a year. So on 3.13 Bitcoin at $12,000, you'd be sitting on $37,000 from your $10,000 investment. If we look at 24 months and say it increased by another $2,000 only. So from 10,000 I went to 12,000 after the first year, but by the end of the second year it was on $14,000. So based on the second year accumulation of Bitcoin sitting at 9.8 Bitcoin that you'd end up in your account, by trading Forex that is, you would end up with 9.8 Bitcoin times 14,000, which would give you a cool 137,000 US dollars from 10,000 investment. Does that make sense or not? Anyway, moving on. What do I need to get started? Very simple, a Bitcoin wallet. If you don't have a Bitcoin wallet already, if you contact one of us or anybody that's on the groups that we'll provide, you will be able to find out where to open a Bitcoin wallet, and there's lots of videos online on how to go about this and how to purchase Bitcoin. So that's a no-brainer. Register with MTI. There's no cost involved. The minimum deposit required is $100 value in Bitcoin at the time that you do it. Okay, and if you don't deposit that $100 within 7 days, your new account that you registered would automatically be closed. It's not a problem, however. You can just register again and you can load your $100 of Bitcoin value into your account. It's free membership, as I said. There's no subscription, there's no packages to purchase, there's no costs involved, there's no deductions, and there's no need to introduce anybody else to the system to make profit. That's all I'm saying, very simple. Your full Bitcoin payment that you pay into your account is what goes towards trading. So you have no loss in revenue or profits from your money that you put into your account. There's no lock-in, so there's no time frame that you're locked in for. You could deposit it and tomorrow you could request a withdrawal. There's no lockdown whatsoever. You can withdraw your full amount of money that you've got, or your full amount of Bitcoin that you've got in your account, or you can withdraw a partial of the amount that you've got, and it's totally up to you. And you can withdraw whenever you want to. There's no withdrawal fees and there's no penalties for withdrawing any money out after day one, as an example. Withdrawals, however, can take up to 48 hours, and it's only done between Monday and Friday, because the company only trades and only operates between Monday and Friday. They say up to 48 hours. I've heard of people that it takes sometimes 7 hours to get their money out, so it doesn't take long. Daily trading takes place, because it's Forex, from Monday to Friday only, and members receive 40% of the profits that are made per day of the trading results, which is called the trade income. And this is all done on their Bitcoin balance. Here's a breakdown of what happens. So the total profit, for example, on this day is 1.66%. of which the members get 40% based on the money in their account. There's other monies that go to people that do introduce other people to this business. I'll go through that on a separate presentation where I'll explain the binary and the pool account. And then 25% of the daily takings goes to the people that own the robot and the trading side of the business, and 10% goes to MTI, of which 5% goes to Johan, and the other 5% is split between the 30 founder members. And here's an example of the daily trade profits. You can pause the video and look at it more closely, but you'll see that the average, and as I showed you on the spreadsheet, the average is always around 0.5%. So that's what I'm working from. Okay, so this just breaks down the monies, and it's just to emphasize that this business is 100% financially sustainable, simply because the profits are taken out of the daily profits and shared between the people that need to be shared. The the trading money is automatically compounded daily. So what it basically means is your profit from yesterday becomes part of your balance today, which is then traded. So you're making profit on your profit from yesterday and the day before and so on. It's the eighth wonder of the world, as I explained and showed you on the previous spreadsheet. This is a real company, and if there's no successful trading results, the company makes no money. And if there's no trading result allocations, nothing will happen. So it's in the best interest of everybody involved for the trading to make profit. Members receive a full statement for every day's trading and every single trading transaction that happens. This is all given in the back office or shown in the back office. Here's an example of it, but I'll show you my live example now. So I just want to go to my trading history. So if you have a look here, you can sort your days and your order of your days over here. And if I look at yesterday's trades and I look at the results, I can open that up for you. And I think the important thing here is not so much just to see the trades for the day, but I want to show you the results at the bottom of the spreadsheet. Just hold on a second now. I don't know why it's not opening. This is what happens when you do live. Show live trades. Let me look at it the previous day. Make sure I'm still logged in. That's why, because I wasn't logged in. I'd left it too long. So if you can just bear with me for a second. So I'll log in again. Okay, so we go to the detailed reports of the profits. And let's go to the 31st of the 3rd. Okay, so here's the statement. As you can see, you've got your account number, your name, and the date. And it happens at midnight every day. And there are all the trades, which you can go back to the trading house and you can actually compare and see that they're real. And then right at the bottom, you've got the current drawdown as of midnight of that day. And you can see that at the moment, from the pool, there's only 0.0657%, which is very little that's been used for trading at this time. And there you can see the net profit, the gross profit, the net profit being the 40% of the profit share, and all the other detail. And these are the open trades, by the way. So that's the open trades at the moment. And those are all the closed trades. In terms of MTI's policy and the trading software license that they have with the provider of the robot, they are not permitted to show the live trades at this time. However, they are looking at doing maybe 15 minutes a day of live trading to show you. That's why they give the report as they do a day later. And the reason for that is to prevent MTI members from copying trades, because then it defeats the whole idea of having the system in place and everybody making money out of the intellectual property that's been developed. Just to let you know that your membership remains active, okay, so long as you have a balance in your trade, in your account. So you can deposit the $100 in and you could draw $90 out and have $10 in your account. However, the recommendation is at least $100 or more for that matter, and as you see it working, you'll find that it's not worth having less than $100, otherwise what's the point? And that's the end of this part of the presentation. So ask questions and find out more about the system. Look for other YouTube videos if you will, and see how you feel about it. Look out for my second video, which I'll record, which will basically go through the money that can be made by selling this on to other people and promoting the product. That's a way of making money and using the money that you made from introducing others to the product to then grow that money, rather than trying to find the money yourself to invest. The true way to make money out of it is to have at least $200 in your account, but you'll find that out in future videos. But yeah, I think see how it works for yourself first before you try and sell it to others, and see how it goes.